Okay, so in this video we're going to be walking through timber blinds metro shades. So this is one of the vendors or distributors that we use for when we sell products. So this is the company we use or that we buy products from. We are a dealer for this company. We're a seller of this company's products. So when it comes to timber, I know in TrueMark blinds, we use them for our roller shades, for our honeycomb shades, for our Roman shades, and also for our shutters. So you'll be learning, or you'll learn a little bit more about all those products shortly, and as you move forward. But I know we use them for all of our shades and all of our shutters. So elevation blinds might be a little bit different when it comes to different things, and that's something that they're going to have to show you. But for us, we get all of our products through timber. So we're going to show you how to do orders on from timber later. But right now, I just want you to get familiar or be able to get to and access the reference guide. So for each distributor or vendor that we use, there's a reference guide for each company. So, and just in case you didn't get that, I went up here and clicked on document, price guide, library. It took me here. So here is where we're going to get basically, you have installation guides and everything down here. That's more for our use, but up here is where you want to be in the price and reference guide. So, this one we use if we ever do metal blinds or a couple other different products, we're going to be using this one. But most of our business is going to be in the Prism price guide and the SolarVue roller and Roman shade price guide. We're just going to, because this is the one we use the most, I'll click on this and kind of show you how these work. And you're going to get to know these a little bit better, but to be able to go through these and understand them a little bit is really, really helpful to all of us. This is the freight and delivery charges that they are going to charge us for shipping any unit. So say we go into a house that needs 20 roller shades. You're going to be able to go on here and see what they're going to be able to charge or roughly charge per unit. So right here, mostly, it's a $4 per blind. They normally don't charge the $200 flat fee. It's normally $4 per blind. But you can go through here and read some of this about damage and multiple blinds on a headrail. And right there, it just tells you multiple blinds on a headrail means the headrail of the blind is the main piece at the top that holds the blind together. It's just telling you that, they wouldn't recommend it over a certain length because they're more likely to get damaged. This page is all the fabrics that are always in stock. So you'll notice down here is all the fabrics that they offer that we have samples of, and we go into the home and show them, or we get an idea of what they want and then kind of show them the fabrics that are best. But of those fabrics below, these are the ones that are always in stock. So, if I have you give Timber a call and ask if they have Beverly in stock or one of the other ones that doesn't have this label by it, I'm asking you to do that because sometimes it might be a couple week wait and that customer is not able to wait that long for that product. So, if I have you do that, that's the reason for doing that. But I know, or if I ask you, hey, is this an always in stock product? Because I'm not sure or whatever, you can go in here and say, yep, it's always in stock, so we don't have to worry about that. And then you'll notice, kind of go sideways here, this shows you what price group each fabric is in. and I'll show you what that means here real quick. Down below is our price groups. So it's 1 through 5, I believe, and nope, 1 through, oh wow, it goes higher than I thought. It's 1 through 7 price groups. So obviously the price group 1 is the cheapest, and the price group 7 is the most expensive. So this tells you the price group. Available with cordless system. So, you know, some of these shades and stuff have cordless systems that you can operate the shade with without having any cords. That just tells you yes or no there. Can be railroaded, yes or no there. I'm actually not even totally sure what that means. Can be seamed, can have internal hem bar. The hem bar is what the bar at the bottom. Tells you yes or no there. Single wrapped hem bar openness. So the openness of a shade, and you'll learn a little bit more about this later. So the lower the number, the less you can see through it. So let's just take the 10% shade for instance. 10% means 90% is blocked and it's open 10%. So that means you can see out of it a little bit. This 1% means 99% of your view is blocked and you can only see out 1%. So the higher the openness, the more you can see out. So that's really all you need to know there. Some of them are totally blackout, so 0% is basically you can't see out 0%. It's a blackout shade. Here's your maximum width for that certain product or that certain fabric. There's your thickness and there's your weight of that certain product. So here's that's kind of how that works. Just know those basic things there, and you'll be good for now. The price groups below here. So the width 2 and the length 2. So say I got a shade I measured for that's 35 inches by 72 inches. So this goes to 30. So for us to get a 35 inch, that means we're going to have to get a 36 inch, and they're going to have to cut that fabric down to 35 inches. So for us to figure out the cost, or what our cost is and what we have to charge the customers, this is where we go to figure it out, the price group or the price guide. So how we figure this out is, say we got a shade 35 by 72, we know it's got to be 36 and 72, that's a good length. So right there is our retail cost. So what that means is that's the suggested retail that they're going, or they want us to charge. That's not what we're going to go by. I'm going to show you how to figure this out here. So on TrueMark's, they call it a multiplier. TrueMark's multiplier for timber is 35 or 0.35. So just remember, and elevation blinds might be a little bit different. They've been in the business a little bit longer, so their multiply might be a little bit lower. But all that means is say I say, could you please give me a cost for a price group 1, 35 by 72 shades. So how you do this is go to price group 1, 36, because it's 35, we know we need to get 36 at least. Go down here, we'll see 179 is what we have there. So what you do is you take that suggested retail, 179, multiply it by our multiplier, which is 0.35, equals 62.65. That is our cost for the material of that product. Now what I do is I automatically add in the $4 for shipping, get our equals. So that's really our total cost minus taxes. I mean, we still got to pay taxes on that. But as long as I know the total real true cost of that item, I can give them an estimate. So how we do that is we divide it by 0.6 because we want to have a 40% margin. This right here, 111, is what we will charge them for that shade, unless otherwise stated. So that says 179. Normally, that's really high. If we're doing one shade, and I'm driving a ways for one shade, I might lean a little bit more towards doing the 179. But in this case, if we're doing a whole home full of shades, 10 or 20 shades, that's going to be my cost, or that's going to be what I charge them for each shade. So let's do this again. We got a shade that's 35, which we know we need 36 by 72. Suggested retail. So we take the suggested retail, multiply that by our multiplier, which is 0.35 for timber. You'll learn in United Supply here where we get our blinds from. It's a little bit different. That equals $62.65 plus our $4 for shipping, $66.65. That's our cost for the product, or that's what we are going to pay timber for the product. So how I will figure out what to charge the customer, I will divide that by 0.6, and that's the cost. I would probably end up rounding that to 112 or 115, but we know we need to at least charge them that for the one shade. So, and then once again, if it's one shade, if I just say, hey, could you give me the price on suggested retail for 35 by 72 shade, you know it's 179. If I say, just give us the normal 40% margin price, then you'll know that that's how you end up with that. So it's pretty simple, and you know, in the beginning, when you'll probably need to do it a few times to figure it out, but that's as simple as that is. And side channels are basically something that are used on roller shades that basically block out the light from coming in from the side of the roller shade. So if I say, just give me a suggested retail price on, you'll see it doesn't matter about the width. The only thing that matters on the side channels is the length. That's where that is. So if I say I need a length of 144 suggested retail on a side channel in price group 1, you'll know that that's right there. So that's as simple as this. And then down below here, it gives us, these are different valences or different cassettes or fascias. That basically what those do is those cover the headrail of the product, so where they don't see the headrail of the product. So, and once you start learning a little bit more about the parts and pieces of window treatments, you'll understand that a little bit better. But there is an additional charge. So these are the suggested retails again. So to get our cost, we would just do the same thing as we did up here. More design options, and then more design options. So basically how that works is 1 through 3, that's the price. 4, 5, price group 6, these are the costs for those price groups. And price group 7, that's the design option pricing for there. Surcharge, there's that. Additional surcharges all down here. Here's the cassette option, the fascia option, dust cover. These are just the different design options. These are the colors for those design options. And these are the different types of basically shade specifications. So there's classic spring roller, which we don't sell a lot of. Cordless roller, you know, you'd sell probably a little bit more of. And then the Skyline system roller shade is what we sell the most of. That and this, the standard roller shade. So that's as simple as that. Let's go down here a little bit lower. So for each one, it gives you the fabric deductions. So basically what fabric deductions are, You can mount window treatments on the inside, which is IB of the window, or on the outside. So where a lot of times there's trim around the window, and we can get into more of this later. But if there's enough depth in the window, we normally mount inside. If there's not enough depth on the inside of the window, a lot of times we do the outside mount, or the outside bracket, or inside bracket is what those stand for. Um, Depending on where you mount it in the window, they take different fabric deductions automatically from those different fabrics. And once again, you don't have to know all that yet. We'll get into that later. But down the road, we'll definitely need you to know the parts of a blind. So if I need you to get a price on something, if I tell you we need a price on um, the valance, then you'll know exactly what that is, and you'll be able to get a price on it. But um, if you kind of just go through this, there's some motorization pieces. There's the retail cost for the motorization and all that stuff. There's where all that is. So that's really it for the reference guide for the roller shades. And next we'll be getting into um, that's really the only one we need you to know for right now within timber, other than the shutters. But we'll be getting into the shutters reference guide here next. Thanks so much.